My
Peace,
name's DJ
peace.
Memetic. In the box above me is a different person than you're used to seeing. My main man Ollie, and to his right we got Russ Plus, featured DJ for January Timecode 2026, but also former door person, front of house manager of Timecode, along with our current front of house guy Ollie. We were scheduled to have a third front of house time code alumni, but they may pop in later on in the podcast. But I just wanted to do a quick introduction of who we got with us. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about the art and science of front of house and what it means to be at the front of house, sort of crazy stories from the front of house, from time code past, and talking about the front of house as a little bit of a an interesting position to learn a little bit about music and culture as well. And so, to that end, I just want to introduce all the homies, and starting with Ollie, what you got to say? You know what I'm saying? Give you a little chance to introduce yourself, even though I just introduced
Yeah, man. My name's Olivia, man. Ollie. I love time code so much. that's it. No, I love music. Yeah, I got introduced when I had just turned like 19. My brother called me up and he was like, "Yo, I think you'll like this." And I was like, "Okay." So I showed up, and I've been hooked ever since, man. I went there every third Friday, every single month for 6 years straight, man. And then the
you.
pandemic hit, and I showed up online, and then post pandemic, you messaged me and say, "Hey, are you available to like help out?" I was like, "Of course, it's an honor." Been doing it ever since. Greeting people like, "Yo, come experience this," and it's like, let's have a good time, and that's
But
about it. You know what I mean?
that's funny, man. That's funny to hear. So we'll get into all of that, and then Russ, you're the first. And I should mention, Russ is the first person to ever start at the front of house and end up on the turntables at time code. So
hmm
you know what I'm
hmm
saying,
hmm
Russ. Tell your story a little bit, man.
Well, I mean, I got into DJing and stuff like that when I was in high school, and then I think
You want to put a year on that or no? You don't have to, but it's like
probably, well, I would have been in grade like 10 when I was getting aware of it and stuff like that. So that would have been probably like 2011, 2012, I guess, stuff like
back
that.
then.
But certainly like DJing as a hobby and stuff like that, and then just getting into it and everything. And yeah, I mean, it was an interesting time because like all the DJs that came before me didn't have like social media, so I was able to, even before I was of legal age, like get to know certain parties and stuff like that through, I would see their posters, see who they're booking, and get to like search people up and see what they play and stuff like that, and see the kind of vibe certain parties had. But kind of went a couple different routes with DJing and stuff. And then, yeah, like when I finished college, I was really just trying to do like the bars and stuff like that and make a bit of extra cash. And I became pretty like disenchanted with that pretty quickly, I think. And because I was always collecting a lot of different music, and then these gigs, there's a very clear like lane that you have to stay in and stuff like that. So I mean, around the same time I got into DJing, I got into record collecting too. So it was, but that was more through making beats at the time, like through
Mm.
sampling and stuff, and then a bit of electronic stuff too. But so like over the years, collecting all this different music, only getting to play a bit. So the DJing kind of ebbed and flowed through that whole period, but I was sort of looking around, keeping my eyes and ears open, and then I was really stoked when Possible Worlds opened because whenever I wanted 12 inches or like electronic stuff, I'd usually go to Montreal to go shopping. But DJ Store opens, it's sick, and
Right.
then one of their first like record meetups, we met, and I think I hit you with a message saying, hey, if I can get involved with the party and stuff like that, let me know. If you need a hand like setting up, because this was around the time of the Makerspace event. I think
The
that might
warehouse.
have been, yeah,
Yeah.
the warehouse
Yeah.
party, yeah. So that's kind of how I got into it and stuff like that. And I think I looked at DJs getting to play like more creative DJ sets and to more open-minded floors and stuff like that, and I said like, well, I can't just like sign up on a forum and play. So I think I have to kind of immerse myself in the scene and see where it takes me and stuff like that. And you know, and that's the good thing about Ottawa, right? Is like it's a big enough city to have good parties, but it's a small enough city that if like
You want to get involved, you can sort of
young me comes to you, you're like, hey, he seems like an okay guy. I'll give him a shot to help out with the party and stuff like that. So like there's lanes to become involved in these scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah, no doubt. And you were incredibly helpful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Not just at the door, but with other things as well. Like, at that time I was out reading Richmond, and people were buying up that record. I had to ship it out a bunch. You were helping me out with the shipping of the records and all kinds of stuff. So it was dope. You know what I'm saying? For me to have somebody who was actually like knew something about records, knew something about music, was actually enthusiastic about all of that. And then, you know what I'm saying, wanted to get down. And so that was, I thought, it was as cool as it was for you. It was cool for me too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so that part was dope. And then, I'm curious. And then front of house was sort of like a natural place in terms of the kind of help that we needed at the time. But then also a little bit for your personality, I thought, as well. And I think there is something about sort of like the front of house person and the front of house personality, in terms of like there are certain qualities that you kind of have to sort of manage the front, because you're the first person that people see at the party. But then also, like when people come to parties, they're also like in kind of like heightened states, and and you kind of got to manage all of that, as well as all the logistics of like stamping people's wrists and all of that code check stuff, whatever. So I'm just curious from your guys' perspective, starting with Ollie, like what are the qualities or characteristics that like a good front of house person has gotta have?
Well, again, I started going out to Timekode and I got nothing but love. So you gotta be able to be lovely, which Kevy and Russ are, because they both greet me at the door with so much love and respect. And then just like be kind, client-centric folks. Like, yeah, okay, you're hiding state, cool, man. You want to get in? It's like, yeah, okay. Can I see your ticket? No, okay. Take my give me some money to like access to the evening, to the musical journey. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just make it as smooth as possible, man. It's like I know I have my things that I need to allow you in, but also gotta like work with wherever you're at to let you in. And that's why just being flexible. You know what I mean? Yeah, because it is client-centric focus. We're trying to party and promote something that's joyful. So, like, why am I going to make it hard for you and me? Like, no, let's just make it smooth. And that's about it. You have your tools ready and just, like, boom, 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 execute.
Ross, I see the head nods. What you saying?
Yeah, just agreeing with all that, and, like, kind of matching people's energy when they come through the door and stuff like that. Like, they come through and they're stoked to dance. They don't want to run into a door person who's like, yeah, it's $10. You're just but yeah, that, and then just doing that certainly like brought me out of my shell too and stuff like that, and like got me more comfortable just like in all kinds of interactions, I think. And just matching people's energy and stuff like that, being down to chat, being down to just they pay their entry and stamp them, have a good night too and stuff, and being good at like reading people and what their vibe is and stuff. And there's sometimes like people will like stumble into a party and like be like, oh well, what is this and stuff. So having a good energy to explain the party, say what it's about and stuff, and like just hang by the door, check it for 5 minutes. I think you'll see something you like. So
and there's this thing like and you guys touched on it a little bit. Because the interesting thing one of the interesting things for me about Timekode, and I attribute this to you guys, front of house people, is that like I don't think I remember a fight at Timekode ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never remember there being like any type of like that type of like, you know what I'm saying, like interpersonal conflict type thing breaking down in front, either like at the front of house or on the dance floor. And I think there's like a funny thing about this sort of like hospitality authority kind of line that front of house people have to walk, where it's like you got to be nice to people, but you also sort of like have to somehow project that it's like, oh, like no, there's not going to be any like bad energy in here.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I concur too. And it's like people who know bring other people who don't know, and then they come in, they get exposed, and it's like, and like as the front of the house, we're already calm, we already know what we're in for. It just confirms that, and then they feel a lot more smooth, and it's just like, yo, man, go express yourself on the dance floor, get funky with it. You know what I mean? And that's how the night goes, and it's a lovely time every time. Like it's a solid recipe.
Yeah, dude, it's interesting. I mean, I think about that a lot in terms of like the the contribution that the sort of front of house people make to the vibe that people carry into the space, and then hopefully are able to sustain in such a way that it's like it doesn't turn into, or that you don't end up having those types of, you know, sort of conflicts that sometimes start when people just get a bad vibe right off the gate. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Like
But
now with the scanning with the QR codes, I get to see their names. So like I just straight up call them out, and then they're like, "Oh wow," and I'm like,
right,
"Yo, I got
right,
some
right,
senses," you know
right,
what I mean?
right. Even the technology, all this, you know what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying? It involves a whole technique and
Hmm.
all of that. No, for sure, for sure. That's super funny. And then it's like, you know, and then obviously there's always going to be sort of a little bit of or I guess given that like there are so many different types of interactions that you have, because there's so many different types of people. Some are like more regular, the people that you see like every month, and like, you know what I'm saying, you guys have that thing, and some of them are just like you said, people who are like, what the hell is this? I'm just interested, like, if you guys have any like funny stories in terms of like a funny interaction or like request that got made at the door, like, you know what I'm saying, oh, I'm here with my cat, can someone like, or like something wild like that, like, you know what I'm saying, that you seen at the door in your time at time code.
I mean,
Uh,
there's definitely been, yeah, just people like, I don't know, like coming with luggage, and it's like a,
Right,
can I put this in the coat room? I'm like, I guess so. Like I don't know what your plans are, but stuff like that. But there was one guy who came up to me, and you know, he gave the whole like, my friend's not here, he paid for my ticket, he's got me. And like, it wasn't like he had purchased the ticket, I could search it up. It was just like, my friend has me on the ticket, and I'm kind of like,
right,
all right, like, is he here and stuff like that? And he's like, I'm gonna go take a look around. And he comes back to me, he's like, I swear he's coming and stuff like that. And it's just like a moment where I felt like, okay, I'm gonna trust this guy. He's chilling, like, go party, enjoy your night and stuff like that.
mhm,
His
mhm.
friend shows up literally at like 1:30. Does pay for both of them,
oh,
respect.
crazy.
But the
It,
guy comes up to me, he shakes my hand, he says, "Hey, my word is all I got, bro."
okay,
Wow, nice.
okay. Word to my man. That's what's
Yeah.
up. I mean, I thought
No,
that was a straight jock move, but
Mhm.
I know. Well, that's why I was kind of like, I don't know. But again, you know, part of
some
reading people and
people.
stuff like that, and you know, clocking someone's vibe when they enter the party.
That's
Seemed like
dope.
he was telling the truth, and
That's
yeah,
dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
no, for me, it was at the 20th anniversary, most
Right.
recent. This guy, he's a regular there, but like he goes to the second floor upstairs, and then like the bouncers come up to me like, "Yo, this guy's a regular. He just wants to come in and check the end of it." I'm like, but he doesn't want to pay because he paid for upstairs. I was like, okay, like you contributed, that's cool. I'll give you a sample. Go in, have a great time, and
Right.
like I'll see you in January, full
Right.
price. And then he laughed, and I let him in, and he was like, he
Yeah.
had a good time. He came back out, gave me a beer, and I was like, see, just
That's
respect.
what's
It was
up.
really nice.
No, that's what I'm
So,
saying. You gotta use a little discernment sometimes, man. Like, you
mhm,
true,
know, the
true,
flexibility, all of that, like emotional intelligence, all these different little qualities.
yeah, yeah.
but
That was the thing
uh,
about that venue too. Like doing it at that freak so often is like, once you enter, you're in the room, right? So people can, I can say, you know, hang, check it out for like 10, 15 minutes and stuff like that, which you can't do at a lot of parties that have like
Yeah.
the door in a different spot, right?
No, for
mhm,
They're not
sure.
going to let you walk through and check it out and stuff like that. And you know, more often than not, they stay, they hang. So
No, that's true, man. Some of those logistical components actually contribute to the way they're able to do like the hospitality side of that job. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
No, that's real. That's funny.
mhm,
And so it's like, yo, and even like, you know, in terms of some of those nights, I mean, I think that like that 20th and that anniversary party. You know what I'm saying? That one really went off. Obviously, those warehouse parties were really, really going off.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just curious, like in terms of like parties or moments that you recall from front of house. Like, is there anything that sticks out in your mind in terms of like all you've done so many nights. You know what I'm saying, at the front of house of the party. Are there any sort of like like particular party moments or even musical moments that stand out to you that you remember hearing from the front of the house?
I'll go.
Yeah, hit
There's
out.
many for me every single time. Like working the door, I think it was like September, October, and
Mm,
I haven't seen this friend of mine, Jean Francois, and his wife in like years before, just before the pandemic. And then
right,
guess who's there at the door to greet them? Me. I
right,
literally just like move people aside, big old hug, and it's like
right.
wow. Like I don't even have to scan. I know you paid. Just go ahead. Such a big
Yeah,
tight hug. It was lovely. And then right after. Um, Another woman comes in. I was like, and I recognize her. I'm like, she recognized me, and then I realized like, oh, you're the daughter, the mother of the daughter when I used to work like at the after school program. And she's like, how the hell are you here? And it's like, it's a beautiful experience. Once again, knew the trust. She just got to go in smoothly. That was a lovely experience.
wow.
Uh, what else?
That's dope,
Uh,
man. Just connecting with those types of connections when you catch people who it's
mhm,
just like, now you're making me remember certain nights, yo. Like I remember a night we were at Daffy and I looked out on the dance floor and I seen like my mentor, like my OG,
mhm,
who like from high school, like you know what I'm saying. He was like the OG. He was a senior and I was a junior, and this is the guy who put out records on Stone Throw, done a lot of things that like he was like the first one to do that stuff. And I
mhm,
remember looking out and seeing this guy and being like, "Oh my god!" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, those moments are crazy.
mhm. Um, Another one, I saw a childhood friend who I haven't seen in like over 25 years. I just
Right.
saw his face pull up and I'm like, E-Man, is that you? He just like blew up. He's like, nobody's called me that since I was a kid. I was like, yeah, because I used to call you that because we were neighbors. We
Yeah,
skateboarded, played hacky sack and everything. And
That's
then I was like, yo, man, if you want to come in, you're more than welcome. He's like, yeah, but I don't have a ticket. I'm like, please just come indulge, man. It's like we were friends. We still are friends. And he peeped in, he enjoyed it, and he went about his night, man. It was cool.
that's that's blessed. Russ, what
yeah.
you got, man?
I mean, a lot of stories like that for sure. I was gonna touch on that when you're asking about like the energy at the door sometimes, because like yeah, like you name it, and I've like run into in a time code basically like
Right.
coworkers, old friends, my friends' parents a few times and stuff like that popping out.
Hmm.
But that's always like a funny thing too, and especially like that is like just like a fun vibe for a dance party too. Like it's especially with like coworkers, it's like a common like idea. Like okay, we're here to have fun and stuff like that. We
Right.
know each other, but we might not mention this
Right,
on
right, right.
Monday
We
in
might not talk
office.
about this at work. Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
so that's like that kind of like freedom to a party and like a kind of old school vibe where it's like you're here to let loose, you're here to be free. No
Right.
one's talking about this in the break room on Monday. Like
Right.
just dance,
Yeah, man.
do whatever you want, stuff like that. But I'd say as far as memorable parties and stuff like that, like there's so many because it's like as someone who was like trying to build my chops as a DJ while I was doing the door, of course I was just like studying the music and stuff like
Right.
that, right? So definitely, as far as like vibe in the room, I think the Zachy Ibrahim show was probably one of my favorites, especially at Da Freak. Like that
Yeah.
was the place was jam packed, but
Yeah.
again, like the energy was there, but they weren't necessarily loud. Like everyone was just like locked
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
right? Like watching that performance, that was a sick night. The warehouse party, of course,
Of
was
course.
sick. Um, and then yeah, like certain DJs too. Like I remember Greg Rain's set pretty well. Playing a
Yeah.
lot of stuff like I hadn't heard before, a lot of gems, and like yeah, of course, I might slyly Shazam a couple of
Of
those songs
course.
and go
Listen,
back
man, the
home and
blue
study.
screens were out. We've been seeing that. But no, there's no
Yeah,
disrespect. You know what I'm saying? That's what it
yeah, yeah. But yeah, nights like that, and then yeah, just like a bunch of because like I was saying before, when I was younger, before I was like able to go out and stuff like that, like I would look on Instagram at a lot of the Ottawa DJs and see kind of what they played. And it was my first chance to see a lot of them like live and play
Right.
full set, like a lot of you know Ottawa legends, Greg
Yeah,
Rain,
of
Chris
course,
International,
of course.
Calcutta, stuff like
Calcutta,
that.
like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. All these guys who were like, yeah, been putting it down out here, and obviously, like all the work, Zatar every week or every month going crazy, like you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
Eric,
yeah,
all these guys who have been out here just killing the whole
yeah,
time. So you're right. I hadn't thought about the idea that it's like as somebody who had been seeing names on posters, like the opportunity of actually getting to see them do it in real life, like you know what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah, and like do it, and then like able to chat with them after the event and stuff like that. Like that's how I met Jordan too. Like I remember Jordan set
Right.
pretty well.
Right, I
That
thought
was a
about
crazy
that.
set.
Yeah. He came through with that freak, yeah, in the basement.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah,
was a
man.
crazy set.
I
But
think we have that. We have some video of that set somewhere. I got to dig that out. I
yeah,
think we do have some of the stream of that set somewhere. I got to dig that. That was a wild set. I remember that.
yeah,
Shout out
yeah,
to what J Function. I almost said the wrong. Shout out to J Function. But
yeah. That was a good one. And then yeah, just like a lot of DJs I hadn't like heard of before too, like not from Ottawa, like Ruby Jane. I remember that was
right,
a really sick set as well.
right.
And then yeah,
Ruby's actually from Ottawa, but she moved to Montreal. But yes,
oh,
I
okay,
get
Montreal.
your thing. But yes, but for sure.
Yeah, a lot of sick sets, and then a lot of DJs like just playing really open and creative DJ sets too, right? Like
Yeah, for sure.
it was a pleasure. But I think certainly the Zach Abraham night is the one that stands out to me.
Yeah, that was a
And
big.
it's really hard to pick a favorite DJ set.
Of course, no, yeah, we're not asking you. We're not asking you to make a possible condition. We're just, you know what I'm saying. It is what it is. But like, I mean, I think that I've always found that to be a cool thing. That the people who've always worked front of house for us have always had like amazing taste in music, and we don't take any credit for that. But I think that in some ways we just participate in the good taste in music that our front of house people already have. Like, you know what I'm saying, Ollie, you have great taste in music. Whenever we're riding around, you always have to play some fly shit. Like, you know what I'm saying, and it's
Thank
like,
you.
I always appreciate that. That like, yeah, that taste is a part of it for sure.
It's the effect of time code. Like that's what I was searching for, and then like again, I got the seed was planted and it's grown into being me. To have a dope soundtrack to life. You know what I mean?
No, that's what it is. But and so like Russ, you're coming up in January. This is like sort of like, you know what I'm saying. You're the one who's doing this, who's making this sort of door to DJ transition and so on. So like, and you touched on it back there in terms of like how some of the front of house experiences affected the way that you DJ. But like, in terms of like being able to sit in a room and watch a party evolve from like nobody there to lots of people being there to nobody being there again. Like, I'm curious how sort of like that experience may have affected sort of like your approach to DJing, or sort of like how whatever insights that you have into partying that you bring into your DJ sets.
Yeah, just like sensing someone reading a room and stuff like that by the music they're playing and stuff, and like it'll always start off with like some chillers obviously when the room's empty and stuff like that, and then a couple people make their way in and then still playing some chill stuff, and then you start sort of like gauging where they're at, and I can hear the DJ playing something that this song's a bit more live, this song's a bit more of a groove to it and stuff like that. You kind of read how people are going, but I think it's yeah, just not necessarily like upping the tempo every song or like keeping the music like getting it faster and stuff like that. Just like sort of like the presence that a song will have, like knowing that, and like knowing when to sort of bring it up as far as like how the crowd's feeling, and like giving them little like sort of glimpses of something a little heavier and seeing how they react to it, and knowing kind of like when to push it and when to kind of like just like get in the DJing flow state where like, okay, the party's on,
Right.
keep it going.
Now we gotta
yeah.
cook. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I mean, that's a cool way to describe it in terms of understanding the presence of a song. 'Cause I
Yeah,
never thought about it like that. But like,
because
yeah,
yeah, like other times, like I don't know, to put it like really simply, it's just like if it's like a straight electronic night, like okay, openers, like you can like kind of see and hear sometimes like openers playing like a certain BPM,
right,
the main support's playing a certain BPM,
right,
the headliner's playing a certain BPM and stuff like that, and like understanding like that it's not necessarily all about tempo and stuff like that, and it is sometimes about the presence a song has, the energy a song has, and
mm,
the energy can come from a song that's not like 160 beats per minute, right?
right,
Like a dance floor starter can be at Timecode, especially, can be
yeah,
like a lot of different songs,
yeah,
like a
exactly.
lot of different tempos.
No, for sure. And it is about the moment and the people who are in the room with you, and
Yeah,
like how all of those things are interacting with, like you
yeah,
said, exactly right. You said the presence of the song and all that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, sure.
No,
Yeah,
that's
presence and kind of energy that comes with a song is like, and what can really get a party started is just like a like I don't know. There's much more range at a time code party on a time code dance floor of like you know,
yeah,
where a night can go.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's super cool. That's super cool. Well, I mean, we're very much looking forward to what you're gonna put down. I haven't. I won't. I won't pretend like we haven't talked about it, but I also won't pretend like I know. So it's like,
Well, that's the fun thing about this party, right? Is like, yeah,
yeah,
we talked about it a bit, but I don't even know, right?
yeah.
I'm gonna have to see.
That's what
Like
I'm saying.
I have an idea, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff I'm excited to play because it's like a lot of the sets I'm playing now. It's just like different styles of music. So like I'm really excited to go back into different crates and bring like a bit more boogie, a bit more funk than I
Right.
normally could if I'm playing like a club set and stuff.
Hmm.
And then just yeah, different grooves. Like knowing like I can drop like you know like a jazzier dance track and stuff like that, or even straight jazz. Like
Yeah.
there's like Roy Haynes songs that like
Of course.
go hard and they sound like they're just like made for cutting up the dance floor, right? So
Right.
stuff like that, which might not work in some of the clubs I'm playing or some of the sets where like people like want to hear jungle for sure, which of course I love
Right.
playing
Right.
jungle, but
We
it's
love it.
just nice to. It's always fun to like approach a set differently, like and like fun to just kind of think through and stuff like that, and like imagine like okay, I'm playing at this time, where do I want to start off? Like that's the only thing like fun thing to really like deliberate on is like what's kind of the opening song, and
Right.
which I can't you don't worry about too much because it kind of depends like where I'm left to start and stuff like that as
That's
far
it.
as
That's what I was gonna say. There's gonna be a little bit of the handoff has something to do with the way you start, but at the same
yeah.
time, it's like yeah, you can still sort of set up your departure in different kinds of ways.
Yeah, yeah, but just like super excited to go back to some older records that I collected because it is like as far as music taste as a DJ, it's like I look at it like everyone growing up with you DJ and I had phases of music and stuff like that. And the fun thing about DJing like different parties is like I can look back on my phases, right? Like when I was getting into DJing, I was really into like Shot Green, Lucky Me, Night Slugs, like that kind of electronic music.
Yeah.
And then, got into making beats. So I started with the samples and then listened eventually to the full song of those samples. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is dope. Got into some
Soul.
breaks, some funk,
Funk.
some soul, and stuff like that. And then from that, little classic disco boogie stuff, from that classic house and stuff. And so, like, all these kind of different phases where I was like geeking out on this genre for like 4 months of my life. All those are still on the USB. All those are
That's
still
what I'm saying.
in the record bag, right?
Put
So
it all
it's like,
together now, and like you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
that's
it's really fun to approach a set where like, okay, let's look in like all these crates
hmm
and kind of be ready to go in any direction and stuff like that.
Well, we are definitely looking forward to it. Um, and
I am.
yeah,
I
I mean,
really
what,
am.
it's January 16th. Do I got the dates right? January 16th. Do I have the right
Yes.
date? Yeah, I feel
Yes.
like I do. January 16th. That week. Y'all already know. Tickets on sale. Link in bio. All the words. I, all of that.
Mhm.
We about to close out. Any wise words for anybody who may want to do the work in front of house, who may want to, like, you know what I'm saying, let that be their little journey into let that be the start of their little journey into DJing, into nightlife, into all of that. Like, any advice that you guys have as veteran front of house people, for folks who may want to get involved at that level. Ollie, you got anything?
Just come in with an open mind because you never know where you're gonna go, who's gonna take you there. Whereas another dancer, because that gets me going. Like shout out to Devin, MC Dims,
Right.
everybody that I dance with, and you both know I love it. So now that I'm at the front of the door, it's like it's tough to stay there. But all I say is like
But you got to.
enjoy. I got to,
But you got
and I accept my responsibility
yes.
because I just you don't stop the body rock. So I'm still dancing at the door and just like
Right.
letting people get into the groove. So I don't know, accept whatever comes your way and just be like be kind and like give them a little rhythm and then like let the music take you and then just be kind to anybody that comes through and you'll be fine and enjoy where you're gonna find yourself musically. It's crazy. Zatar blew my mind with Independent Bahamas
Oh,
years ago. It still hits me every time.
thing.
So
There's always
anyways,
it's definitely a crazy opportunity to learn about music and just to
yeah.
sort of like absorb all of that. So that's what
So
it
yeah,
is.
no, that's pretty much for me. And it's like you can have such a great night. It's such a great night. Like like for me, my favorite one was when we did the boat party
Oh my
on the
god.
river because that was my birthday, and like nobody knew. I was just there with my brother, and my sister, and I danced my ass off. Hallucination was
Yeah.
playing. You guys were playing, and it's just like it's fantastic, man. It's like it's really
The
people are
boat
there for
party was
music.
very live. I forgot about that. Well, we got to get back on the river, man. We got to get back
Yep.
on
Yeah.
the boats.
Hmm. So yeah, no,
That's
just enjoy everything. And it's like it's so good. It's so good for everybody.
that's what's up. Russ, any advice for any enterprising people who may want to start their journey at the front of the house?
Just like I don't know, just reach out, come with the right energy and stuff like that, and like I think yeah, I was doing it to like obviously because I was a DJ and wanted to DJ more, but it's like I think you have to kind of like still work on your craft and kind of let things kind of come to you and stuff. Like a lot
Mhm.
of DJing stuff has been like very I don't know full circle for me and stuff. Seeds I planted years ago sort of only kind of show up like with like especially the last 2 years have been so busy, but there were a lot of years I wasn't DJing as much and stuff, but still like collecting music, still practicing and stuff. And if you're coming into like a door person position, like being like I want to DJ, you can't be like asking to DJ and stuff like that. It's
right,
more
right,
like it's more like just like take the free game of like seeing how a party operates and stuff like that,
right.
seeing how the floor operates because it's like obviously yeah, I guess that was like 10 years ago. I
Yeah.
started doing the door and stuff like that, and like at that point, like I was like, oh, I can DJ. I want to DJ, and I saw a lot of the Timecode parties, and I'm like, I got a lot of work to do before
Right, right, right.
I'm really DJing. And
Yeah.
so stuff like that, and like it's uh, yeah, just coming with the right energy and like just trying to soak it in and knowing like just I don't know how to go about DJing, how to go about like reading a room and stuff like that, and how to go about sort of like networking and chatting with people. Like just come with the right energy, like,
Yeah,
and
even
that's same. Any promoter I've gotten booked by, it's never like, oh, let me DJ your party. It's more like, I like your party.
right,
This is
right.
sick. I like the programming you do and stuff like that. Whether they know about me or not, I don't know. But a lot of those parties, like, I'll eventually get booked at, and it's just like coming with the right energy and like wanting to play a party because you believe in what they're doing instead of like I
Mhm.
want my name on a bill, I
Word,
want to get paid, shit
word.
like that. Like it's all kind of been about I think
Passion.
having the right energy and yeah the passion and stuff like that and being like if I don't get booked here I'm still gonna be on the dance floor. Like I
Right.
still love the party, I still love to dance, I still love music. So it's like I think that's kind of been been the key of like, you know, I think getting booked more in the last like 3 years or 2 years. Like it's just been like, you know, post COVID, going out more, like just interacting more and having the right energy and kind of like doing things for the right reason instead of just like being like a networking dude who's just trying to like, you know, get emails and connect and get booked and stuff like that, right? Which obviously, like, I don't say that in like such a bad way because you
No,
do
I
have
mean,
to
but I
network.
get what you're saying. I get what
You
you're.
have to put yourself out there, but like sometimes as well, you chat with people and like you can kind of read their vibe, like they're gonna ask for something,
Right. Yeah,
like,
exactly,
like
exactly.
sure, like exchanging pleasantries and stuff like that, but like you
But yeah,
know, just kind
there's a
of
request coming or whatever.
yeah, never asking for something because it's like when I started doing the door, it's just like you know,
Yeah,
I got the opportunity to help with the party. That's what I asked for, and now I'm gonna soak this all in
yeah,
and
man.
like you know put this knowledge away, and it's gonna benefit me later in my DJ career, and it certainly has.
Yeah, no doubt. Now we're about to
Hmm.
unleash it all again on that same dance floor, full circle. So
Yeah, for sure.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
that's what's up. So on that note, we gonna call this one. I want to thank Big Russ, thank Ollie for joining me on the pod, and yeah, we want to see everybody on the dance floor
Hmm.
January 16th.
Yeah, man.
All right, we'll
I'll
see.
be there on
All
the
right,
floor,
I'll
getting
see you at the
down.
door, Ollie.
Yeah. Peace out, baby.
That's what's up. All right, hold on. Let me just get on here. Stop this. I gotta get back on my hold on a second. Trying to reconnect.
I can't hold it that long.
The
Yo,
other
Happy New Year, Russ, by the way.
yeah,
Haven't
Yeah,
happy
seen you.
likewise. Happy New Year.
to all.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. It's off to a big start for sure.
Yeah, man. No, this has been good.
Yeah.
Well, they're still reconnecting. Give it a second. But I gotta stop it from this end as the host, not as the guest.
Uh, yeah, man. No. I'm. Yes.
Okay. Hold on. There I am.
Us, yeah.
Mhm.